Hey guys, what's up? It's Katy and I'm back. I'm making this kind of series on Act 5 for several reasons. First is that I have gotten a lot of questions about Act 5 and honestly, I'm finding them kind of hard to answer because I completed it so long ago and there are a lot of newer players looking for more Act 5 content. Now, when I did it, we didn't have the champs out there that we have today. So, my answers, what I could remember, are not going to be probably coincide with some of the champs that people have today. So I'm going to try my best with this series to explain and walk through each of the chapters in Act 5 with paths, bosses, nodes, and champ information that is relevant to the champs that we have thus far up into 2019. So right now for this one, I will be looking at Act 5.1.1, Fair Play. I will not be going through each path in this video. I may do that in later chapters, but it basically in 2019, 5.1.1, the paths are pretty straightforward. The first thing I want to do, however, is go over this little spreadsheet that I created for Act 5. In the description of the video, I have an active, there we go, Katy, spreadsheet that I will be updating as I go through. So as we look at it here, I have all of the paths laid out. And I have path 1, 2, 3, and 4. And basically I have path 1 being the easiest and path 3 is actually the hardest. So each path, as you can see, is color coded and labeled what paths, like I said, I feel are the easiest, but which is also, champ dependent. So you've got, maybe you need regen, nullify, that sort of thing. So there will be a link in the description of the video too, which is right here. Where you can download this map. Now, you can use it if you want. If not, that's cool. But the link will be here for you to use if you need it. I've also added node information on here. So if it says NA, that means it's not noded up. But you can see here you've got Enhanced Fury, Enhanced Armor Up, Enhanced Bleed, that sort of thing. So I will be doing that on each path, listing the nodes and, potentially what champs are going to be needed. So there are also a brief description of each buff. So with this one, the global node is Flare, where the opponent gains 300% attack and degenerates 100% of their health over 60 seconds. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. So most of the buffs in the fight in these first few chapters, they're pretty straightforward. But as we get into the later chapters of Act 5, they're going to get a little bit more tricky, and we'll go into those as the time comes. So before we get started, I do want to mention that this is a live spreadsheet. So if you have any, comments, suggestions, whatever, go ahead and make a comment in the video, and I'll take a look at it, and I can make amendments to this spreadsheet as needed. So let's go ahead and get into 5.1.1. So like I said, the global node is the Flare node, where the opponent gains 300% attack and degenerates your health, over 60 seconds. So basically, the name of the game here is mitigating the degen damage. There we go. And also healing. You want to be able to heal so that you can save on pots. Now, this debuff is less severe if you have the class advantage. However, it is more detrimental to you if you have the class disadvantage. So if you have the class advantage, you'll only degen 50% of your health over the 60 seconds. Now, the best way to do these paths, I found out, is to use champs that regen and go into fights where you have the class advantage. The mutant class is awesome for 5.1 because for 5.1.1 because a lot of them have great healing. I find Rogue and Omega Red to be MVPs. X-23 and Wolverine are also really great options. Another strategy you can use is the Ironman and Superior Ironman, as long as they are duped, and try to get the regen right as you kill your opponent. The best method I found, though, was saving for a special 3, then launching the killing blow right after the degen, because then that causes your regen to kick in. Hood is also great for this. Now, Gladiator Hulk, he does pretty good against this degen, but in all actuality, he is not the most effective I found. He's helpful for some fights. If we take a look here, we can see. He's definitely helpful for the class advantage fights. But, I mean, for here, we're facing Warmachine, and so he doesn't have the class advantage. He does get, you know, the heal block, and he can get the stun. You definitely want to push Warmachine to his special 2. It's a lot easier to evade than his special 1. I am not great at evading those special 1 bullets. If I do it, I swear it's pure luck. So, but for this, you definitely want to stay away from champs that take way too much time to ramp up, like Prox. You got to complete her missions. Void, you know, you got to wait for his debuffs to kick in. You gotta wait, launch special 1. Bishop's another one. Now, surprisingly, Aegon, he's gonna be one of those ones where at the beginning you're gonna be pumping heals into him for the first couple fights until you can get him at a high hit combo. But once you get that high hit combo in on him, he'll be fine. I used a max 4-star Starkey, and he does great Zerg damage. But there is really no time to build up prowess charges. However, I really think the MVP for this is Blade with his on-demand regen if he's awakened for all of 5.1, with the exception of when you face a mutant champ, because then he does have the class disadvantage. So if we take a look at the map, I have the first path marked, the green path here. This is the easy path. So nothing too special on this path. Some may say, you know, path 4 is really the easy path. It really depends on how good you are at fighting the champs on that path and basically what champs you have. So going through this path, we start on Warmachine. You know, not much going on with him. If you use a cosmic champ, you should be able to cut through him pretty easy. Corvus is great for this path. There's so much Corvus food lined up along here. It's fantastic. So if you don't have a cosmic champ, you're gonna want to bring in a mystic champ in order to nullify his armor and fury at the end of the fight. You know, he always gets those when he gets low in health. So then next you have Elektra. And Elektra, she has a critical node, so just make sure that she doesn't get you below 25%. Otherwise, she's going to come at you like a monster, and she's going to wreck you. But other than that, she's a pretty easy fight. Basically, you're going to want to use one of your mutants. I highly recommend Rogue. So then you've got Winter Soldier and Quake. They're pretty straightforward. Try to use class advantage, and then we go all the way. We shoot from up here down here to Unstoppable Colossus, and he can be kind of tricky because sometimes you forget, or at least I forget, when he goes unstoppable. And so you won't be able to hit him and you'll start degenning down. So I would recommend definitely some sort of power drain champ to keep the fight going and reduce his special. Someone like, you know, Vision would be good, something like that. Or if you can stop his unstoppable with Spider-Gwen or Captain America Infinity War, that would be another great option. So then we've got Gamora and Black Bolt, Cyclops, Gwenpool, Yellow Jacket. Nothing too bad. Yellow Jacket does take down one of the 60% health boosts to the boss, who is Kang. And you're always, of course, going to want to watch out for that power sting if you get clipped with Yellow Jacket's specials. So then after that, we've got Hulkbuster. Nothing too fancy there. And then we shoot over here to Falcon. And Falcon has enhanced bleed and boosted attack and health. So your best bet is try to avoid his special 1. Push him to his special 2. Use a mutant. Using a mutant will be great against him. Omega Red, Rogue, those are 2 really great mutants to use against him. Okay, so normally I would go into path 2 to keep it consecutive, but I'm actually going to skip path 2 because I find it to be the hardest. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at path 4 here, which is the pinkish purple path. And so starting off, you've got Guillotine, who is special who has special 2 bias and energy resistance. So honestly, it sounds daunting with special 2 bias, but with this game, it doesn't seem like the bias really seems to matter. You always seem to be able to bait out the specials. And honestly, both her specials are easy to evade. I would recommend using any science champ on her and you'll be easy. An Awakened Hulk is a great option for her. So then moving over, we've got Gambit. And Gambit's got an unblockable special 1. So if you're able to, push him to his special 2. If not, just avoid that first hit of his special 1 and block the second part of his special 1. So simple enough. Tech Champ works great, or even Corvus. You can come in, get your mutant charge, and go. So the next you've got Dr. Voodoo and Cap World War II. And those are also both easy fights. Try using a class advantage, a science champ. That'll be pretty simple. And so we'll shoot over, and actually the arrow here, I kind of messed up here. My bad, guys. Sorry. It should be pointing over here towards Scarlet Witch. So I'll fix that in the spreadsheet. So we're going to shoot over to Scarlet Witch. Now, Scarlet Witch, you're going to want to bring in a poison immune champ because she will heal block you and she will poison you. So an Awakened Hulk, also another great option for her. So then moving down, we've got Civil Warrior, X-23, Venom Pool, and Howard the Duck. They're all pretty easy, straightforward. Yeah, I'm sure we've all fought them plenty of times. The only one who's really going to be a pain in the butt right here is this Nightcrawler. If you can't switch him to swashbuckling mode, best bet is to parry and do a 3-hit combo. Try using a tech class if you can. And remember, do not rush this fight. Even though you've got degen on you, it's fine. You'll be fine. Just don't rush the fight. All right, so then we shoot on over and we are back to Falcon again. So path 3 here is we've got the blue path, and this one here, it may be harder than path 4 or maybe equally as hard as path 2 depending on what champs you have. We got to go back through Guillotine and Gambit, and then we're going to move on to Moon Knight. Now, here I would use a mutant champ for sure. He has enhanced abilities, so definitely you want to try to catch him when he is not in his evading phase or during a full moon, because he does have that lunatic buff, and that allows him to have all of his phases. If he is in either phase, try to parry and do 3-hit combos. Think of fighting like a Spidey or, Nightcrawler, something like that. If you had then, all right. So then we move on to Rogue, and she does have stun immunity. Luckily, though, Rogue doesn't hit very hard, but you want to make sure you evade her special 1 completely, and do not let her steal your health through your block, because with that degen, that will wreck you. Using a tech champ will help mitigate some of that damage if you're not good with stun immune nodes. So I highly recommend that. So then moving on from Rogue, we have OG Spidey, and he has a 20% chance to evade, I think, but with enhanced abilities, he's going to be evading like crazy. Luckily, he is not stun immune, so you can parry and do 3-hit combos, and make sure, you time your hits, because he does have parry and he will stun you if you miss time on your first medium. So a good way to counter that, though, is if you have Venom, bring Venom in. He's great against that. If you can use Corvus and you have maybe a proc synergy with him, you can knock him down, make sure he won't evade anymore. That's good there too. You can use Spider-Gwen. She's good for that too. Just throw your heavy, get that slow debuff on, and you're ready to go. Now, these fights are designed to, make you take your time, so bring in some hard hitters or champs that can regen, or also you want to make sure you have the class advantage. These fights are designed to make you degen, so take your time and don't worry. All right, so now we're going to move on to path 2, which is the red path here, and this is the harder path. So I decided to do a quick run through with 3 stars just to kind of show the global nodes, just so you can see that degen and how I would deal with each champ. So we're going to start with Warmachine, okay? And now, honestly, the best for this is Cosmic. So if we bring in Corvus, we're going to get a charge, which is awesome. You want to try to push him to his special too. a lot easier to evade, in my opinion. Like I said before, those bullets can be tricky, and the special one can do a bit of damage through your block, as you can see there. I did bring in Corvus for the class advantage, and also I get the armor break on his parry. Now I did eat that special one there, which was not fun, but he goes down. All right, so now we're going to move on to Elektra. And Rogue is great for this because that lifesteal that she gets off of her special one is a lifesaver. Now she's got the class advantage over Elektra, and you are able to not only, reduce the degen by stealing health, but you also steal her buffs, and you're able to get a pretty quick kill. Now, a tip here with Rogue is make sure you end on a special one so that you pretty much have your full health when you're done. All right, so now we are moving on to Hype, and Hype can be kind of a pain because not only is he stun immune, but he has power gain. So I decided to bring in Hood so that I could nullify his power gain, and I also got the class advantage. Any nullify champ will work great here. Symbiote Supreme, he would be awesome for this, for Hype here. Try not to get caught by his specials, and do not, I repeat, do not rush this fight. Bait out those specials, don't push him to an SP3. If you're not great at baiting out Hype specials, bring in Iceman so that you can just eat those special 3s over and over and over again with your ice armor up, but just don't get hit before he throws it. Okay, so next we're moving on to Ironman, and I brought Ghost Rider in here. Now he doesn't have the class advantage, but his on-demand heal is great for this chapter, as you'll see, because Ironman has an unblockable special one, and I just ate it right there. But with the right champ, you can recover your health back from that. So now we're going to start evading. We've got 3 judgments on him. So, and I'm going to throw my heal. The thing with Ghost Rider is you want to get as many judgments on before you throw your heavy to get that regen, to get the maximum, out of your regen. So now I should have fate sealed him right there, but I kind of mistimed it so that he wouldn't have got the regen, and it would have ended this fight a lot quicker. But I mean, Ghost Rider's getting it. So I don't want to push him to his special 3, so I'm going to try to bait out his special 2 here, which I do, easy peasy. So, and also I should note, so we can see the 60 seconds is almost up, and we still have 27% health. So we're going to go ahead and drop our SP3 here soon. All right, degen is over, so we are doing good there. We drop our special 3, get that damnation on him. And it does a good bit of damage. Could have done a little bit more, but, it happens. So we're just going to try and zerg him down. We're down to 14% health with Ghost Rider. Throws his special, down to 7%. He's down to 11%. But we're going to get him. We're going to get him. With that heal, we did outlast that degen, so that's good. Now, Mordo is another fight that, like Hyperion, you need to be careful for. So I brought in Hood to stagger his power gain and keep him from getting a special 3. Now, mind you, Mordo, this node has Plague Mind on it, so you will lose your power every 20 seconds, so make sure you use those specials. Vision would be a great option for this to kind of keep Mordo down, so you so you don't eat a special 3. But you want to just keep baiting out those specials. Remember with Mordo, if you parry him, don't go in swinging. You'll get that astral evade, you'll start degenning more, and he's going to come in swinging. So just take your time when fighting Mordo. Bait out those heavies, bait out those specials, run in and punish the specials. There, I kind of messed up right there. I stunned him, and he astral evaded me. So now we're back to Falcon, and I decided to bring in Rogue so I could get that class advantage. So we're down to about 30% health, and you will fight Falcon every single time, no matter what path you go down. So remember, he's got enhanced bleed, so you want to try to push him to that special 2. You don't want to get clipped by that special 1, because with that degen and that enhanced bleed, it's going to be over for you pretty quickly. But Rogue is MVP for this. Just keep launching that special 1, stealing Falcon's life away, gaining your health back, counteracting that degen, and you will be good to go. All right, so now we are moving on to Kang. And he is linked by not only Nightcrawler and Yellow Jacket, each giving him 60% health. Do not push Kang to his special 2. His special 1 is much easier to evade. It's just like Iron Man's. So, you know, a simple, easy evade, a shallow evade to bait out the specials will work out very well for you. So that's all that I have, guys, for 5.1. So let me know what you guys think. Remember, there is a link to the map and the node information in the description below. So, you know, if you haven't gotten to this point in the game and you're looking for stuff out there, I hope that this will be helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below any champs that you think would be useful for these nodes. Is there anything I need to change? Let me know in the comments below. I can add it to the map or to the spreadsheet as we progress through this. Like I said, we'll be doing 5.1.2 all the way up through 5.6. So as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks, guys. Bye.